Hello friends, how are you? I am Noor and in today's session I will show you how we can get a list from the API and then how we can show the list in the React.js project. Right. So I will create the ASP.MVC.NET 7 APIs and then I will use in the React.js project. Okay. So in this session, basically I will create the API project and then I will get a list from the API project in my React and then I will show you in the React.js project. Okay. Now first of all, I will create the API project in .NET 7. Right. Now for creating the API project, I will not explain each and every line of the API because our main purpose of these tutorials is to learn the React.js, not the API. Anyway, I will show you how we can create the APIs and then I will integrate in the React. So let me go to the Visual Studio 2022 uh, and here I will click on this option. I will create a new project and I will keep the name of my project as ASP uh, Core API. Let's search for this template and here click on this one ASP. Yes, click on this template and here click on next. Now here is showing the path of the project. I will save the project inside this directory. Now let's me go to the path again. Let's me copy this path first, press enter and here practice react app. I will just select this folder and here let's me give a name to the project, react.net APIs. Okay, and I will click on next and here let's me choose the .NET 7, the latest version from the drop down and leave the other option as it is. Click on create. Okay, so the project created successfully. Now let's me run first the project whether it's working or not. We are basically creating the API project in .NET 7. It will take a little time for the first time for building the project and then running. So the process is completed and now my project is running successfully. Now it is the default Swagger implementation. Let's me click on this API that giving that I get by default in the project. Let's me click on try out. I will click on execute and here I am getting the response from the default API. Okay, now I will add some other APIs to this project according to my purpose. Now first of all, let's me add a class. I have already copied the template of the class. So I will create a folder with the name models inside my project. Click add new folder. I will keep the name as models. Okay. Now here I will add a class. The class name will be product.cs. Okay. Now there will be basically three properties inside my product class. I have already write the code so that we can save our time. Now it will be the ID of the product, it will be the name, and here we will give the quantity. Okay. Now let's me add a question mark with a string so that we can make it a nullable property. The name should be a nullable property. Click save. Now here I will add again the app context class. Let me copy the name FDB context, go to the Visual Studio and here add the other class FDB context, FDB context.cs. Okay, now I have already write the body of this class, so let me copy these 2 to 3 lines and let me paste here. Now here you can see that I have add the product class that I just created here. Okay, okay, now this line of code giving me some errors. Let's me mouse over and here it's suggesting me to install a package Microsoft Entity Framework Core. Now I will click on this find and install latest version, install with package manager. Okay, click on this one. It will open the new get package manager window and here it is giving me the Microsoft Entity Framework Core package. Click on this and click on install. Right, it will install the Microsoft Entity Framework Core. Okay, now you can see that the packages are installing. Click on apply, click on I accept. Okay, now the package installed successfully. Let me close this one and go to appdb context and click on these. Yes, now here I have to import these namespace. Double click, the namespace imported successfully. Now it's again giving me some error. Initialize a new instance. Okay, does not contain a constructor takes one argument. Okay, so let's me go to the code that I have to inherit the fdb context from these. Okay, now the error gone. Format control kd. Okay, now I have added the fdb context successfully. Now let's me go to the notepad file again. I have to add the implementation of this fdb context in our startup.cs or program.cs class. Now I have to copy this line of code, go to the program.cs and here where I am registering the services, let me press enter and here I have to add the implementation for this. I have to copy this one, builder.services.adb context, and here I am getting uh, error for the SQL server. Okay, let's me install one another NuGet package. Right click on these, manage NuGet package and search here for SQL server. Yes, click on this package and install the latest version. Click on apply and click on I accept. Okay, now you have to install one another the configuration package also, config. Okay, search for this package and also install this one. Okay, I think the package installed successfully. Now let's me go to the program.cs. If I mouse over these, use Microsoft Entity Framework Core. Okay, and I am getting error on these using system.configuration.getConnection. Let's me import, but it's not removing the error. Control Z. Let me see again. Install package. uh, let me use this package. It's not removing the error. Control Z, and let me try this one. Okay, so basically it's not giving me the option to get the configuration namespace. Control Z. uh, yes, try with this one. I think I have to first fix these and then let me give a time. Okay, so actually I am getting the error on the configuration. Let me try with the builder dot configuration. Okay, now it's working fine. Basically, I am registering my app db context class, this one, and I am giving here the connection string in the use SQL server param. So this function will basically get the connection string from the app setting.json file. Now my default connection name will be db connection. Let me copy the connection string. Okay, copy this one, and I will paste the inside the app setting.json file. Okay, copy the name from the program.cs. The connection string name is uh, db connection. Okay, now I will create a db with the name react product db. Also comment this one, and I will open the window authentication, SQL server window authentication connection string. Now here the DB name will be React product DB. Sorry, yes. And let me copy and paste here my SQL server name. Okay. So I have just to copy and paste the SQL server name. Okay. So my SQL server name is this, right? And let me go to the Visual Studio. Control V. Now it is my server name. It will be the database name, and I am using the window authentication. Let me copy the name of the connection string, and here I have to paste db connection that I have already done. Now let me move to the other part. I will add a controller now. Okay. So for adding the controller, uh, I have to add a new controller. Here I have a default controller, but I will add a new controller, an API controller. Click on the API option and click on API controller. Uh, Choose these the empty option. Click on add, and here I have to give a name to the controller. Product controller. Uh, React product controller. Okay. Click on add, and it will add a controller to your project. Okay, now first I will use the implementation of app-db context inside my product controller at the top level. So let me copy this code. I will basically inject the app-db context inside my React product controller. So it is the constructor of the React product controller, and here I am injecting basically the app-db context. Okay. Now let me add uh, the I will run this command. Okay. Now this command will basically create a database with the name React product DB. First, let me show you that I have no database with this name. Okay, I have just these two practice databases. Okay. Now let me go to the code, and here I will go to tools, manage package manager, and click on this one, and here type this command .NET EF database update. So this command will basically use the code first approach for creating the database, and in database it will basically add one table with the name product, because in fdb context I just declare here these one, uh, I mean give the declaration of the product class, so it will only create the table for the product, right? Now let's me press enter. Could not execute because the specify command or file was not found. Okay, let's me try with another one. Okay, so this is basically giving me the error, and I have to type the exact command for using the code first. Okay, so this command basically did not create the database, and it is giving me the error. So I think there are commands like enable migration and update database. So I have already write these commands. Enable migration. Let me try this one. The term enable is not recognized as the same function script file. So let's me install one another package. I think it may be due to the package manage NuGet package, and here let's me search for tools. Microsoft Anti-Framer Core.tools. Okay, I was searching for these. Let's me install. Click on apply. Click on I accept. Okay. Uh, let's me first build the project. Okay, so the project built successfully. Now let's me again move to the package manager console, and here let's me type the command enable migration. Okay, now this command is add migration to start using migration. Okay, so let's me type this command. I will add migration with this name. Okay, press enter. Okay, so it added a folder with the name migration, and inside the migration it added basically two CS classes. This one, let's me close, sorry, I mean decrease this one, and here you can see that it added all the property for the product class. You can see the name. Now first let me show you the product.cs class. Here you can see that we have three properties, and in this class you can see that it declare a property with id, with the name and quantity, and here you can see the complete implementation. Now let me close this one and go to the other one, I mean this one, and here you can see also the details about the product class. Okay, now let's me run one another command, the update database. Okay, so copy this one, and I will refresh the databases. You can see that no databases is created at this time. Now let's me run the command update database. No, this command will basically create the database. A connection was successfully established with the server, but then and connection. Okay, so let's me refresh whether it's created the databases. No database is created. Let's me go to the app setting.json, integrated security true. So let's me copy this code, right, and Let me Google this one. Okay, trusted connect. Okay, copy this one, go to your connection string and paste here. Control S. Let's me type the command again. Update database. I think it's created the database successfully. Now let's me refreshes the database. Okay, guys, congratulations! It successfully created the database, and let's me show you the table. Okay, and here it's created the product table. Let's me run a query on this product table. Select story from products, and here we have no row at the time. Let me just insert one dummy row. Insert into products. Okay, values. I have just to insert a dummy row. Name and quantity. Name should be and quantity will be 5. Name will be like soap. Let's me insert one row, and I will also add one another row 2, and the name will be like detergent. Okay, now here I have basically two rows inside our table. Okay, now I will create now an API for getting these list. Okay, now go to the controller with the name React product controller, and here I will add a method. So let's me go to the code, and here I have write this code for getting the product list. Okay, return. Okay, and here I have to return the product list. Now let's me give a name to this API, get products list, and it will be a get API. Now type here http get. Okay, and here let's me also give a root. The root will be get products list. Get products list. Okay, now let's me run the project. I think the project is running successfully. Okay, now here the APIs is automatically added to my Swagger. If I click on try out, let's me execute. It should basically get the product list. Okay, you can see that API is working correctly. It's getting me the product list. Okay, now I will implement this API inside my React project, right? Now I have go to my React project in VS Code. Let's me run the project. npm start. I will run the project. Now to call an API in React.js, you have basically to install a package Axios, Axious. Okay, so I have first to install this package in my React project. Okay, now my React project is running. Let's me copy this uh, URL, and I have to paste here. Okay, now my project is running successfully. Now let's me go to the src, the site pages, home page, and here inside the home page uh, I have added this code. Now I have to remove all this code. Let me remove this one. Control S. Got it. Counter increment. Okay. So let's me. I think I have Control S. Mm, okay, the code is gone. Now I have to implement here the API. First, I have to install the package for calling the API. npm install AXIOS. Okay, so it is the package. Okay, so the package installed successfully. To check whether it is installed, let me go to the package.json and search here for AXIOUS. F type XIOUS. Okay, you can see that XU version 1.5.0 is installed. Now close the package.json and here I have to call the API. Now to call the API, I have already write some access code. Okay, copy this one and let's me here add here a helper folder, new folder, helpers, and inside the helpers I will add a file with the name api.js. Okay, and inside the api.js I will add a function constant make api call uh, okay, and here I will write the excuse code. Now I will make the function async. Okay, and I will export this function. Okay, now for importing the AX this package, let me import from its library. Okay, it is imported successfully. Now I will call this function from I will pass the here two params to this function, method type and URL. Okay, now method type URL, and I will also pass here for the time I will pass here the header is equal to null. Let header is equal to null. Okay, and if I have required some param I will also pass here. Okay, now it's looking fine. Let me call this function from my home component. So to call the function from your component, just add a use effect. Okay, okay, now I will call the API. Here I have to call the function let response is equal to await make API call, and here let's me pass the function go to the API call, method type is equal to get. I will pass here get, and here let's me pass the second parameter as URL. Now the URL, let's me type here first the base URL. Let base URL or base URL is or API base URL this one. Okay, and here let's me pass the sub URL base URL plus or sub URL will be the complete path. API let's me type here the controller name React product. Now I am just creating the complete URL. Okay, uh, this one. Okay, and the function name is this one. Okay, and our param is null at the time, the third parameter. Let me put here a debugger. format the document, and let's me run the API, build the project again and run again. Build. Okay, so the project built successfully, and let's me run again. Okay, so the web server is listening on port 7224. Okay, let's me go to the 7224. Yes, this one, refresh. Now my complete URL is API React product get products list. Okay, this is the base URL, API React product get base URL. Okay, now let's me, here I am getting some error. Await module failed. Okay, for beginner, unexpected result word await. Okay, so let's me declare here a function constant uh, make do operation in use effect async. Okay, it's giving me again the error, so let's me try in this way. Okay, the header is not defined. I think I have to go to the make API call. Let's header. Okay, let's me define here outside of the condition. Control V, Control S, and let's me call the API again. And here let's me see the response. I am getting some error data. Okay, oh no, I have to put here a debugger. Hmm. Let's me close this one, and I have to run the project in this way. Go to my project and let's me refresh again. I am not getting any hit on the get products list. I think there is some kind of error, so I have to fix this. There may be some course error. If I go to the network, uh, let's me refresh again. Status takes 200 config. Okay, and here let me show you the network call. I think I am not getting any API call because I have put here a debugger, and I'm not getting any hit on the debugger. So we have to see this why I am getting this error. Okay, okay, no, I am getting not the correct data in the response. I have analyzed and I find out that I am doing two mistakes. Basically, the name of these, uh, you can see that it is in capital, this variable. Okay, now I have first to make these like this one that I am passing in the param, and the second thing is that I am assigning null to the header. Okay, now basically I have to I mean declare here the data type in the header and content type like of things. No, let me paste here. Now here it will be my header. It will accept the application underscore JSON, so it will basically get the response in a JSON format. And here I have also to give the content type. Okay. Now I will save, and here let's me put here debugger, and let's me refresh the page again. Okay, now you can see that I have also get a hit on my API project. Now let's me continue, and here I am getting an error. uh, Localhost. Okay, basically the API project is not running. Now let's me run again the API project. Okay, now it's running. Let's me refresh the React project again. I am not getting the hit in a correct way. It's running 7244 port, has been blocked by course policy. No access control origin is present on. Okay, promise network. No, it is basically giving me the error due to the cross origin. So we have also to fix this. I have one another project where I have already fixed this issue. So let's me navigate to this project, dummy, uh, and here I have to just open the project. Okay, practice project, real dummy. Yes, this one, and I have to open this one, and let's me open this file with the help of show more option, and open with okay, VS Code just once. Do you want to log on just open? Sorry guys, I have also to move to the other file. Helpers, yes, this one. Okay, now let me define here a variable. Go to your program.cs class and paste here. Just paste here. Okay. A name cannot directly contain members such as field methods or arguments. So control Z. Okay. Now I have to search these. Control F. Copy this one and paste here. No, it will give me the error for this. No, just copy the name and paste here. Okay. Now I am trying to allow the request from every origin, from any header and from any method. And let's me search again here, and I have to use this one below the use authorization. Now go to here, use authorization. Okay, and it will directly give the name. Control S. Okay, now let's me run the project again. The project is running successfully. Now go to the React project, refresh the page, and here see the response, and now I am getting the data correctly. Okay, you can see that in the response.data I am getting the products list. Okay, now let's me close this window. Now I have to show you the product list. Go to the React project, sorry, to this one, close this file and go to the home, and let's me add here a variable constant products, set products list. Okay, use state. I will declare a use state, and initially I will assign an empty array, and inside these once I get the response, then I will set this variable, the products list. If set products list equal to response dot data, response dot data. Okay, if response is not equal to undefined and response dot data is not equal to undefined, then I will assign the response dot data to the products. Format the document. Okay, now remove the debugger, and here let's me show you the products list. H4 products list, and here I will add a table. Okay, and inside it will be the table header t head, and inside the table header I will add a row t th id, copy and paste two times more, and here will be the product name, and here I will get the quantity. Okay, format, and here I will now add the product body, t body. Okay, and here I will add a row, and inside the row I will add three cells for the row, but here I will iterate over the products list that I am getting from the API. Now to use the for each loop in React HTML code, you have to use the map function. Okay, now I have to copy this one, Control C, paste here, format the document. Now copy the variable name products dot map. It will basically iterate over each item, and copy the table row, paste here. Okay, format the document, and inside the first cell I will show you the product ID, item dot id, I mean this item. Okay, and let's me add one another cell. Here I will show you the product name and product quantity, Control S, and here you can see that I have successfully get a list from my API. Now let's me add one another row inside the SQL directly to the table, um, digital watch. Let's me add quantity 100. I will insert. Let me show you in the SQL directly. Sorry, close this one. Click on execute, and here I have three rows. Now let's me refresh, and here you can see that I have three rows of the product. So it is basically the way to implement the API inside your React.js project. I have just added a very simple API inside my project. Now I am getting basically the product list, and then I am returning, and here inside my home controller I am making an API call, and once I get the response to data, then I am just setting the products list, and here I am iterating over the product list that you can see inside your browser. So you will be wondering that the initial setup of the ASP.NET 7 API project is a little difficult. Yes, you are correct. For the first time, it is a little difficult. But once you set up the initial things, that it is not very difficult to add more codes. So in our next lecture, we will just add a simple API because we have done the basic setup. so there is no need to set up the project again. Thank you for watching the video. Goodbye.